It's the Year of Shame Challenge.
Good morning. Welcome to the Year of Shame Challenge podcast March edition. I am Toby James, also known as Tud17. I am joined by Stephen, also known as Steve07E03, and Richard.
Hello, good morning.
Also known as Burton Coggles.
That's only on Twitter.
Only on Twitter.
PSN's number 6.
Yeah, it is. With the number 6 where the S should be.
Yeah, because I like the Prisoner TV show.
Is that where that comes from?
Yeah, it's my.
It's
because it's my favourite TV show.
It also makes it look a bit metal.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry.
No, go on. I was going to go off on a tangent already.
We can have an early tangent.
Right. I was going to say, we went down to Wales a couple of years ago for holiday, and we went to the village.
Portmeirion.
Where they filmed it all.
Portmeirion.
Yeah. It was
Did you play giant person chess on the board?
No, we couldn't. There were people already playing.
That doesn't surprise me. So? It's a mecca in inverted commas.
So went down there, had some ice cream, looked at all the pretty houses.
They've built a boat in the sand that doesn't go out anywhere.
We were looking at it. We weren't allowed on it. I was annoyed.
Yeah,
Kids loved it as well.
Carry on.
Sorry. No, that was it. That was all I was saying, really.
Good. Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's a perfect introduction to the show. So,
it's going to be weird. There's no alcohol this month.
Yeah,
it's too early in the bloody morning.
Well, I did contemplate it because, I like getting my random and crazy beers.
Yes.
There's a brewery in Wales, in Newport, in fact, called Tiny Rebel, who turned 7 years old last month, and they released a 7th birthday box of 7 beers in collaboration with other brewers. And one of them, which I've got downstairs, which is a chocolate mocha stout, is actually no alcohol chocolate mocha stout.
Is it caffeine?
I have no idea, because I've not opened it.
You're tempting fate. You're going to have to open it later on in the show, aren't you?
All right, I'll go and get it in a minute.
Sorry.
It's a good job.
Tell us what it's
like.
It's
a good job Olivia can't hear that. The chocolate mocha stout. That's 3 words that immediately would give her.
Especially with no alcohol while she's recovering from an op.
Oh, don't worry. She had alcohol the other night. She doesn't give a shit. She doesn't give a shit.
She doesn't give a shit.
She went, I'll just read the tablets. No mention of no alcohol. Right, pour me a glass of
that. Well, I'm off to work in the beer shop this afternoon as well, which is always fun. I was working there Saturday night, and the boss said, "Oh, I've ordered a Five Guys to be delivered." I was like, "Well, that's brilliant." She said, "And I've ordered us chocolate, malt, and bacon milkshakes."
Oh, I'm always a bit concerned about bacon in a milkshake.
It's amazing.
What was it like?
I was, but it was amazing. Not only that, but she also opened a bottle of whiskey from the shop and poured that into our milkshakes.
What?
So it's chocolate, malt, whiskey, bacon milkshakes.
How does it work? Is it crispy bacon in there?
It's crispy bacon, but then blended up.
All right. So it's
so you get the odd crispy bit, but it's mostly like salty, meaty.
I may have to give that a try.
Yeah, bro, please.
That's all the major food groups in a glass.
Exactly. Yeah. It's well worth a try, man. But we also have to try some fucking awful beer. So when I work there on a Saturday, she gets out all of the samples that people bring in from small brewers that are trying to get out there, and it always tastes like piss. Always. We had one good one this week, in fact, and that was a Tom Collins sour beer.
Okay.
So, imagine a Tom Collins cocktail.
Yeah.
But brewed with hops and in a sour beer. It was pretty good.
I'll give it. Yeah.
So, lime, gin, sugar, and beer.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'll trust you on that one. Anyway, yes, we're here about games, aren't we?
Yeah, so
Sorry.
we're about games, not beer or any of those other bullshits. However, because we were in a rush to record this month, the show notes that I've got says we are 47 days into the challenge. We are not.
We're not. We're coming to the end of our
better not be.
first quarter.
We are. We're nearly
First quarter.
90 days in.
Yay!
Although I don't think it's been 50 days since the last one, so I don't really know where we're at.
Don't do maths, just carry on.
I'm not doing maths because it's 9:47 in the morning, which is an ungodly time to record a podcast.
Yes.
But I will jump in with how are you feeling the challenge is going. Steve, I'm going to start with you because last month you didn't play many games. What's Guan this month?
I'll do my pile progress later because I played quite a bit. I'm still feeling really good about the challenge, although there's been a couple of, not wobbles, but feeling left out, so to speak.
Yeah.
We've had, it's been quite a start to the year, games release-wise, hasn't it? We've had things like Anthem, Devil May Cry, and these may not be games you're interested in, but big releases. Resident Evil 2 got a lot of love. And then this
Apex Legends.
Apex Legends, yeah, I forgot about that. But this month we've had Division 2, which everyone seems to be jumping on board. And I feel a little bit left out because I played the Division quite a lot when it first came out. But at the same time, it's like, no, I'm not that bothered. And then, was it a couple of days ago, Sekiro?
Yeah.
Shadows died twice. And everyone's talking about that. And it's just like, fuck's sake, what's going on? And I completely forgot that was coming out. So it feels a little bit.
Yeah, and you played that
like,
early Joker.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. I'm not
Are you
feeling
still
bad about playing the Joker.
Cool.
It's like 2017 that there are a lot of big releases coming out in the first quarter of the year.
Yeah.
And a couple of them are multiplayer games that you feel as though you should be jumping on because everyone else is.
Yeah.
But in a few weeks' time that only the hardcore will still be playing it. Mm-hmm. So.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of hype train, man. Just remember, it's the hype train.
The dabblers will have gone, and you'll be with the hardcore.
We're banned from that station by the hype transport police.
Exactly.
So we're not allowed to go there.
So it's just the initial kind of hype that everyone is getting on these games, and I know they'll still be there next year. So
they will, and they'll be better by next year because they'll have been all patched up.
But I don't know if you saw last night's PlayStation State of Play.
No,
I didn't. But I saw the Iron Man VR video.
There was that.
I haven't seen any of this.
There's an Iron Man VR game coming out for PS4, and also finally, No Man's Sky is getting a VR update free this year.
Well, that doesn't count as a game, so you can have that.
Well, it's a free update.
Exactly.
I've already got it.
Exactly.
So, woohoo! That's yeah, I'm all happy. So yeah, all good.
No, I was more intrigued by the idea that Nintendo are bringing out a hgame Switch.
Oh, I did not see that.
Did you not, sir? They're bringing out... So they're essentially trying to work on the game plan that PlayStation and Microsoft have done in terms of creating high-end consoles to continue the purchasing cycle going.
So this is the equivalent of the
X.
Pro and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But have they not been kind of doing that already when they do like they do the 3DS, the 3DS XL?
Yes, but now they're looking to do it with the Switch.
Right. Okay. I did not know
so
that.
So the bits on the side are going to be more
bitty
for a gamer, like almost like an Xbox Elite controller, I guess. The screen will be higher res, and there'll be certain games that'll be specific to that, I believe.
Oh, that's not.
No, can't buy it.
The idea is that they will be appealing to the more serious gamer. Because I think if you go along Trev's lines of Nintendo,
it's only for 6-year-olds.
Exactly, and I think that they've tapped into the fact that some people do feel like that, and so they've said, right, well, we're going to make a fucking big boy one then.
And also probably with things like Fortnite started to make a big player on it as well.
Yeah.
people are going to be taking it more seriously, and if
Yeah.
they're out and about, they want something chunkier to hold on to, even though it doesn't need a higher end graphics or anything. But
There you go.
be interested to see whether those things on the side are interchangeable with the old Switch.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I've only ever owned one
Who knows?
Nintendo
Have you? Which
Game
was
Boy.
that? Oh, that's a
Wow.
classic.
You didn't have a NES?
Nope, never had anything Nintendo related other than a Game Boy.
And so you've never played Donkey Kong Country?
Not on a Nintendo.
Oh, buddy. Oh.
I haven't either.
What?
I've never.
Hey, I had the. I've had the handheld.
I've never played a Zelda
and I had a
game.
Wii.
I got into gaming with the NES. The NES was my very first thing.
I was Spectrum 48K.
Yeah.
You have to
That was
remember,
my-
48K.
I'm nearly a decade younger than you guys.
I refer you back to last podcast with the Vega. That's why I own that.
Yeah.
That was my first. Not the Vega, but the Spectrum was my.
Did you see?
First
Did
ever.
you see the MLG member who had all of his old Spectrums framed and put on the wall?
Oh yeah.
Looked really good.
I may have to do that with mine because my plus 2A's kaput. The entire video output on it is just goosed.
Oh, it looked
So-
really nice.
I still have my Commodore Amiga 500 working. I don't.
Wow.
I say working. The modulator, which was like an insertable brick into the back,
Yeah.
is knackered. So you can't, because of the brilliant design of the Commodore Amiga. Without it, you can't get an output.
Well, oh, there
Sorry,
he
excuse
is.
me.
He's just choking on his own jizz.
Patient zero.
So, I guess that covers out a lot of the releases nicely. Rich, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of. I've had a bit of a wobble, and
Ooh,
well,
what's it on?
they're things that haven't come out yet that I'd kind of forgotten about. Well, actually, one is, and it's going to happen this week, which we don't know what the Gearbox reveal is going to be later this week.
Gearbox. Oh yeah.
There is a sign which looks suspiciously like a Borderlands sign, which says the 28th on it, and it looks like it's been graffitied by the bandits.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
it could be it's just coming to a Switch or something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people are hoping it might be Borderlands 3.
They'd have had to have kept that very, very quiet, though.
The fans and stuff have always wanted it. I think they wouldn't have needed to keep it quiet. They just let people continue to speculate.
Yeah, but what I mean is to not have shown any development at any time. Like, no one's been saying, we think this is coming, apart from the fans. Like, no one in industry
Oh,
press.
that's interesting.
Unless it's a very early kind of teaser pre-release thing.
Yeah.
We are making it. You're not getting it till 2021 though.
Yeah, that's the thing. It might be.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing more and more trailers for Days Gone.
Yes. There was another one on State of Play last night,
Yeah.
I think.
I'm still undecided about it, because a lot of people that have had hands-on with it through development haven't been all that enamoured.
Yeah, it's development though, isn't it? I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
The one thing that I'm glad I kind of didn't jump on straight away was Metro Exodus.
Yes, you were talking about that last month.
That's a bullet dodged. I mean, I've seen a few streams, and somebody who I follow on Twitch has been playing a lot of it, and he said, whilst the first two games were nicely story driven and you felt like you were pushing a narrative along while you played, this one is much more go to a location, do some stuff, go somewhere else,
Go back,
and
go back,
it's a bit more
go back.
disjointed.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful, and it follows the whole sort of world that those games are set in. So it's not quite more of the same, but it just doesn't have the feel of the first couple.
Yeah. I think everyone's had bullets dodged this month, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get Devil May Cry 5. I know a lot of people are saying nice things about it, but playing the demo, it wasn't great for me.
Yeah, Toby might cry if he bought it.
Yeah, he would
Yeah.
have.
Look for that in a sale next year if you're going to get
Exactly.
it. I think.
It'll be
If it drops below a tenner, I'm in.
Well, I wouldn't say a tenner, probably sub 20 in January next year in a sale.
Interestingly, while we're on the subject of things that we've been looking forward to this year, Rich and I both said at the beginning of the year that we were curious about Death Stranding.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
An article came out yesterday saying that Kojima is playing it on a PS4 machine.
Yeah.
However, it's nowhere near finished.
Oh, what a surprise. What a fucking surprise.
So, it's whether we even need to think about putting that in our planning at all.
I don't think you will.
No, I don't. I think
It's going to be late this year, if anything. You're looking last quarter.
He's playing it to try and work out what the fuck's going on with it.
On the flip side, it does appear that Cyberpunk is entering that critical phase.
Ah, now you see, I'd read that there wasn't much sign of it before 2020.
Oh, see, I'd read that it was ticking along, and we might get it in the winter this year.
Oh, maybe that has just been pushed forward a bit then, and in start of 2020, winter this year, it's...
Maybe.
Save it for January next year. I think you'll probably at most have a couple months wait from release until the end of the challenge. So if you can hold off for a couple of months...
Yeah.
For me, it's the sort of one, though, that I don't want to get it and be upset, so if it's shit...
Yes.
I'm not having it. Because I've kind of grown up around all that sort of science fiction-y mythos of the cyberpunk era, William Gibson and Philip Dick and Dune and all that sort of stuff. So for me, it's a big game.
I want to read you a quote from Kojima about Death Stranding. It says...
WTF.
Death Stranding. Death Stranding is not in the stage of difficulty adjustment and debugging yet, but is being put together from its different parts into one game. While I am playing the game directly on the actual PS4 machine, I connected the parts, corrected the operation feeling, the direction, the specifications, the problems, and the process of stripping the flesh and changing things. Critical phase.
So basically,
I've started again.
That sounds like an autopsy, not a development.
It's like that meme you get from about Gandalf appearing halfway through an RTS save that an RPG save that you left for 6 months and you have no fucking clue. That's what Kojima's done. He's come back and he's gone, I can't remember what I was doing.
What was this again? I know Norman Reedus is in it, but that's all I've got.
Yeah.
Norman, what's going on?
Yep.
The best is if Norman Reedus has done some interviews about it recently, and he's like, the guy's a visionary, the guy's an artist, but I had no clue what the fuck was going on.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Oh, good. Well,
so how are you feeling this month, Toby?
Mate, I'm all right. I've managed to get a little bit more gaming time in because I'm now unemployed for 3 weeks, which is nice. Not been doing a lot, really. I've been trying to just get one thing finished off my pile at least, because I'm feeling very antsy about just having made progress but not actually finishing anything. So I got onto my Broforce this week, and I'm nearly at the end now. I've just unlocked Broden, which is Raiden from Mortal Kombat. Which was quite fun. And I think before him I unlocked the Brodator, which is the Predator. That was pretty cool. But yeah, it's all gone a bit bonkers, so I won't spoil it for anyone, but it changes up all of a sudden into something completely different with some very different enemies all of a sudden. And yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it. I haven't really played a lot apart from that this month. But yeah, as with the above, really, glad I didn't dip on DMC 5. Controversial opinion, but I actually really like the reboot. And I wanted them to continue in that vein.
Yeah. And
so I'm a bit disappointed that they've gone back. Because the story was set to be pretty cool. And now it's back to the old DMC.
I think I only ever played the first one.
The first 3 were good.
Yeah.
4 wasn't that great, and that's why they decided to go for the reboot. And then I think the hardcore of the fan base went, we don't want a reboot, we want you to fix the original thing. And so that's what they've gone back and done. But I'm still, on occasion, going back to the reboot and giving that a potter, because I really enjoy it. Sometimes. Just sometimes. But yeah, I guess overall I am feeling pretty dandy, man. No real wobbles apart from DMC, which I was saved by a demo on. One thing that has been interesting is, so I live probably about a 20-minute drive from EA, and they send me emails regularly for game testing. And I was thinking, because they offer free games for the game testing, and so I was like, so I could do a game testing, that'd be really interesting, but then I wouldn't be able to play the game until next year, which is not interesting. But while I'm unemployed, when they keep sending me emails, I'm like, I should really apply for these. If for nothing else, like I looked down the game list yesterday, I did apply for one yesterday, and Anthem was on the list. I was like, well, I could get it for free. I wouldn't pay for it, but if it's free, I might as well have it and stick it in the library ready for next year.
Yep.
But it was an interesting quandary, because you're not actually paying for the game.
Yeah.
But I think in order to stay pure, as we have been, I wouldn't play it.
Don't step over the line of wank
Yes.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't become a wankit.
I think you'd be fine as long as you didn't play it.
Yeah, obviously
If
you'd
you-
have
if
to
you- if
redeem
you
the
banked
code,
it.
because they'd be time sensitive. But
Yeah.
yes. Oh, mind you, they did have No Way Out as well. That was another one I was considering.
Don't get that's rubbish.
There you go. Saved yourself that.
I've
Andre.
watched some people playing it on Twitch. It's dull.
Okay. Well, people in Midlife Gamer seem to quite like it, especially Adamski. He was saying it was good the other day, or it might
I
have been a
think it's
month or
good.
so ago.
It's good for co-op.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's no. If you've got no one to co-op it with, then
Yeah, then I imagine it's dog dirt.
well, you can't play it. It is strictly co-op, isn't it?
Oh, well, then there you go.
Yep. As far as I know. So yeah.
Good. Okay. So, I'm going to jump into pile progress. Rich.
Yes.
Tell me about your piles.
My piles. I haven't taken anything off my piles this month, but we're making. Well, that's because we're making quite good progress, at least for me, into RDR2.
Yeah, I haven't even touched it this month.
So although other people have finished it, I'm nearly halfway through the entire thing now.
Are you going off doing all the collectibles and side missions?
Yeah,
You
yes.
are, aren't you?
But
Well,
so that
no, that's fine. That's fine.
so that nearly halfway is, well, according to the game save, 45.5%. So that's nearly halfway.
Right.
But I'm only on chapter 3 of the actual story.
So the rest of the story is going to fly by when you actually
Can be bothered.
commit to
Yeah.
the time. Yeah.
I've spent.
Do you use the app, Rich?
What's that?
There's a RDR
That'll
second
be a
screen
no,
app.
No.
It's pretty cool, especially for someone like you, who, as you said, you go into an area and say, what's here? The app kind of does that for you, so you don't need to look anything up.
Okay, I'll have to update the world by getting that.
Yeah, it's good.
I have.
So it's got
go on.
it's got a live map on it as well, so you don't need to keep bringing the map up. You can do it on your phone.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, it's a bit like the old. There was something like that on Fallout 4, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
I have played a bit more of XCOM 2, trying to get that sorted. I've had that for a long, long time and just kept restarting it and never committing to fully getting into the end game with it, so that's going along nicely. And I've been playing The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing.
Oh, what, the one that was on PS Plus a while ago?
No.
Oh.
I don't think. Well, it might have been. I don't know.
Oh, it might have been on Xbox Live, actually.
Yeah,
I've got it.
I've got it on the well, it's Van Helsing 2, so it's a Diablo style running around, killing things, finding stuff game. That's about as much as you need to know. Although there is an interesting little tweak to it where various levels degenerate, I'll say, into tower defence.
Oh.
So you go off to a section of the game and you're told by your resistance chums that the tunnels are being invaded by whoever, and you go off there and set up your play a tower defence game for however long to keep them out.
That sounds a lot like Victor Vran.
It quite well could be, because the graphic style is very similar, to be perfectly honest. And that was an alternative to getting this. I don't know whether or not Victor Vran is an isometric Diablo clone.
It is. If you'd read my review, you'd know that.
Yeah, I tend to read quality reviews.
So you haven't got anything to read since I stopped then?
Well, I've had plenty of time to read the high end of the review market, if that's what you mean.
Well, I don't think that is what I mean.
That is about it. I've been playing World of Tanks, but that doesn't count. Because I would do that anyway, whether I was on Pile of Shame or not. Year of Pile of Shames. 20-something-ish.
Year of piles.
Piles of years. So yeah, that's where I'm up to.
Okay, good. And cough along over there?
I've had quite a good month, actually. Right, start off. I took 2 games off my list that I haven't played because there's just no point. Right, I've got Uncharted Drake's Fortune on there, which I had at Class 4. So I basically finished the story, and I started it last year, and I thought, I'm going to get the platinum on it. And then I looked at the list and thought, I can't be fucking arsed. So I've just cleared that off. I have set Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered to Class 6, because I play that every year anyway. So no point being on there. But into the meat of... Prominence Poker's now on my list at Class 6. Because, yay, you can't really finish a poker game.
You can finish that one. Just saying.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose you got all
you
the...
play through to beat the boss.
Yeah, but I don't play it for that. So
no.
I play it for...
If that counts,
I'm
if
just
that
saying,
counts
I'm
as
just
progress,
saying
I've done that.
I'm not saying you shouldn't have Class 6'd it. I'm just saying you can complete it.
I know, but I play it for different reasons.
Yes.
Okay. But onto the meat of my list.
Ooh, the meat.
Loads this month. I started playing a bit of Everybody's Golf on the Vita. Quite enjoyed that. Never played it before.
That's the only game I ever bought for my Vita.
Well, it was free in PS Plus. Was it last year?
Yeah, no. When I first got my Vita, it wasn't, and that was one of the things that I thought was really worth having, a portable sort of dip in and dip out golf game.
Yeah. So yeah, I've quite enjoyed that. I've only put about 20 minutes in, but I'll go back to that. But I have got rid of Lego Marvel Superheroes on the Vita because it's shit, basically. I didn't enjoy it. I put about 10 hours into it, and I haven't completed the story, but it was getting to the point where this is just a bloody grind of a game, because it's not like your traditional Lego games where you're going around and you're repeating levels with different characters. No, this is kind of a 3D isometric thing where you only have 2 characters that you can't really choose, and you've got 400 challenges to do, and the only way you progress through the levels is by amassing a set number of challenges, and some of them are just shit. So I had enough, so I sacked that off. I have Class 5 and Platinumed Lego Marvel Avengers on the Vita. That was good fun. Really enjoyed that. That took about 12 hours. I have Class 5 and Platinumed Res Infinite on PSVR. So, actually, I've put that to Class 6 because I'll keep playing that. I have also Class 5 and Platinumed God of War on PS4. So I started that last month.
You did?
And yeah, bloody good game. Really enjoyed it, and I'm a bit disappointed there's not going to be any DLC for that in the future. But hopefully there'll be a sequel at some point in the same vein. But yeah, really, really good game. A lot better than God of War 3. Yeah, that was awful. I've also been playing a bit of Disney Infinity 2 on the Vita. So, yeah, contrary to last month, found out that 2.0 is still available to do multiplayer. You can do peer-to-peer on it.
Yeah, we'll do that.
This is what I want to ask you, though, right? I've got Disney Infinity on Vita and PS4. But they are distinct sets of trophies on each game. So effectively, your progress for levels doesn't carry over between games. There's no cross-save. But the level, your character levels, does, because it's saved on the figure. Do I consider this 2 games or 1 game? Or because
one game. It's got the same title.
It's not the same title.
It is. It's called Disney Infinity 2.
But I have to restart all the levels on the PS4.
Yeah, that is weird. The old no cross save, but I guess it was before cross save.
Yeah.
Which do you play it most on? Vita.
Vita at the moment because I take it into work.
Yeah. And look like a massive weirdo getting all the figures out of your bag.
Yeah.
I
don't care.
It's alright, I have got some friends.
It's these ones here, I'm putting them on the table.
This one's my best friend. He can jump really high.
Fuck 'em.
And runs fast and goes round corners quick.
Yep.
And 4 can fly.
Right, I'll just carry on with the Vita and I'll consider the PS4 one as a non-end. I don't really want to go through it again.
Take one of them off the list and
if
decide which one you want to play.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. But the what I've been playing most this month is Persona 5. I have put a good 75 hours into that this month.
How the fuck have you got 75 hours of gaming time with kids, a wife, and a job? What the fuck?
Because I
don't sleep.
I take my Vita into work.
Yeah, but you're not playing Persona 5 on the Vita, are you?
Yes, I am. I'm doing remote play into my PS4.
All right.
So on my lunch break, I'm putting about an hour and a half in. Cause
that must be one hell of a good connection.
It's not bad. It's not bad. So, yeah, I'm remoting into that. I'm playing at night instead of watching telly. So, yeah, I'm about 75. So, yeah, about an extra 75 hours into that. About 60% of the way through my second playthrough. And hopefully this time next month I'll have that platinumed. Yay! So this month, I've played 10 games, completed 4, got 3 platinums, and I'm now sitting at about 40% of my completion on my list.
You see, that's stats. That's pro year of shaming. Me and you.
Yeah.
We're just fucking along.
I'm literally fucking along.
I've done a bit of this, I've done a bit of that, and that's it. Steve comes on.
I keep going. I want to finish the game, so I'll start a new one.
Yeah.
I'm starting to look at the next games I'm going to be playing. I'm thinking Bastion's the next one. Because I can cross-save that on the Vita and the PS4.
I actually need to go through my list and Class 6 some stuff that I'm never going to play.
Well, yeah. If you're not going to play it again, Class 5 it, get it off.
Yeah.
Just go. If it's something you dabble back into, like I did with Modern Warfare, because I've probably completed that campaign 10 or 20 times. I go back to it every year and just have a quick playthrough, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I just thought, fuck it, and just set it to 6. Because I'll always go back to it.
Well, I had a lot of 6s on my list anyway.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's things I won't ever play, so I may as well just 5 them and get them out of there.
Yes, that's the way to look at it. If you're not going to do it,
yeah,
it really is giving you grief. Just either get rid of it or give it 20 minutes and see is it really that shit, and then get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's me. What about you, Toby?
What about me? As I mentioned earlier, Broforce. Literally Broforce.
That's it.
I haven't had time to play anything else. I'm doing 3 rehearsals a week. And the rest of the time I'm doing some hardcore dadding. So yeah, no time for nothing else. Oh,
Your kid's still young, isn't
yeah,
she?
she's 3 at the end of April.
See, that's when they get to about 5, you can start setting them on autopilot, which is when you get the game time back. Because mine are 5 and 7, and I just tell them to fuck off to their bedroom and play, and that's it. I've got a couple of hours free. Yeah, it gets better. It gets better.
Yeah, I'm just looking down my list now. There is a fuckload that I'm never going to play. I would say, yeah, concentrating on Broforce. I think there's 15 levels and I'm on 13 now.
Yeah.
So nearly done. Some of it has been an absolute fucker. For such a simple game, some of the non-levels, the C levels, the covert levels have been really fucking arsey.
The one thing I do like it, but it's when you get you can't choose your character; they just throw a random character.
And you get one with a sword,
and it's really shit.
And you're like, I need something that's going to shoot across this gap, and you've given me a fucking sword.
Yeah.
But I've started learning to deal with that. Like, if you get Bronan, you can kind of dig down and around enemies and come around the back of them.
Yeah.
And that makes it a little bit easier.
I need to go back to that game.
Next.
Yeah, everyone does.
Yes.
Everyone does.
Yeah, get it off your list.
Yeah, get it
Keep
off.
powering through. Get it done.
Get it off. Like a sexy stripper.
Sexy Tetris.
I'm not doing the sexy Tetris noises again. No one needs those again.
No one needs them. They recorded them last time.
They recorded them last time and listened to them when they're feeling lonely. So, we are on to community questions, which I believe my good friend Richard is giving us again this week.
Well, it's a bit sparse this month.
It's a bit sparse. People have fucked off now because we keep being mean when we answer their questions.
I gave them plenty of notice, and
it's because we keep being like, fuck off!
That's a
whenever someone sends us a question.
I think the tone was set when somebody asked us what we thought of Brexit, and it's like, fuck's sake, not this one.
We'll answer that.
Well, I think we've answered it in a number of pictorial formats.
Bad. It's bad, is Brexit. That's what it is. Bad and stupid and wrong.
So, what are our community questions then?
Right, I'm gonna do these in reverse order.
Okay, so you're doing ladies first.
Well, no, I think because I think one of them's got a lot more discussion to be had around it. So I think we'll deal with the question from Dave Packer about how gutted are you for not being able to play the Division 2?
I'm not at all. I didn't play Division 1. In fact, when it came out, all of my Destiny team were like, hey, get Division, we're all going to get Division. And I bought Far Cry Primal. And I don't regret that.
To spite them.
I don't regret it at all. I really enjoyed Far Cry Primal as a very different thing. Yes, it might have been the same map as Far Cry 4, but I didn't play Far Cry 4, so it was a new map to me. So that was nice. And then it was a much derided broken game for most of its first 6 months of existing. People didn't enjoy it at all, and I felt vindicated by that, and I feel like, they've done lots of pretty stuff with the new one, but there's a lot of videos of people falling through the map, especially by our very own Matt Jones. Also, not being able to climb down things you need to climb down to finish a mission. So this game itself is also not finished. There's a lot of basic functionality that bugs out, and yes, people are enjoying it a hell of a lot, but I'm sorry, it just seems like another UB broken game, even if it's less broken than usual. And so I'm not gutted at all, man. I'm really happy I'm not playing that.
You've just reviewed it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without even playing it.
Which is what a lot of people would do. I played the demo of the first one and haven't played anything related to the Division 2.
Yeah.
except, not played, but watched trailers and bits of people playing it. And I just don't think it's my sort of thing.
No.
Stephen?
I'm a little bit gutted that I'm not playing it. Not terribly though. Basically, the people that I played the first one with, that was Derek, Pete, and Lee. They've all got the second one, and it happened a couple of years ago as well when we were doing last year. Shame they did the same with Ghost Recon Wildlands. They all jumped on that, so I felt as though I was missing out on that. But I don't know. I just feel a little bit left out, but I'm not particularly bothered because these multiplayer co-op things, I like the idea of them, but they're not quite my bag.
It's so much fucking effort.
Yeah, I've always found that unless you dedicate loads of time into it
and coordinate a team,
you end up. Someone always ends up falling behind, or you'll get someone go, I just need a quick break, and then that's them out for 6 months, and then they come back in, and it's I'd much prefer to be very antisocial and play my single player games because it's a lot less hassle to coordinate. There are a couple that I enjoy. I mean, Fallout 76 I quite like. Still play it quite a bit, but I'm not really into my multiplayer games, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
So
there's your answer, little Dave Packer. No one cares.
No one cares.
Now, off the back of the co-op and multiplayer bit, so Steve's probably not going to be interested here. Vicky Evans says, I'm assuming that participating in YOS impacts on the amount of co-op/multiplayer gaming you play. Does that bother you? And have you found a multiplayer game that you can that is still popular?
I feel like that question coming from her is a bit of a red herring because she joined us on Poker Night, which is a what type of game, everyone?
Card game.
Co-op,
it's a co-op multiplayer game!
Well, not co-op, but it's multiplayer, yeah. See, those kind of games I like.
Yeah.
Something like that where you can just chill. And
have a chat.
Social ones.
Game. Yeah.
There's no pressure on you to be leveling up hard and fast for a raid or for tackling end game stuff. It's the same with Battlefield for me. I've not played it for a few weeks, but the Community Battlefield night was quite good because it's more about the social interaction and chatting. But I'm not... Yeah. But there is the odd multiplayer game we'll probably find on our piles that we can all just jump in together.
You and I have spoken this week about doing some Broforce together in our little chat. And I think we've all decided that we have... I can't remember what it was. Was it an Assassin's Creed game that we've all got?
Oh.
Is it Unity?
Yeah.
What?
I need to find
which
that
we can't co-op, but we can play along at the same time and discuss, which is kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Could do that with Far Cry 5 as well.
We could. Yeah.
If I owned it.
Oh.
And I have it on Xbox.
Well, we can't actually co-op. We can jointly discuss.
That's that knackered.
Boo. We have already discussed that pretty much every month so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, I think the answer is that we don't have to scale back, and I think that given the right situation, it would be something that we would all be into. But
that's assuming we're talking multiplayer between us three.
Indeed. Well, no, it doesn't even have to be between us three.
That's what I mean. So you can get somebody else from the community to do that.
We could get someone else from the community, but I think the point is that it's easier in terms of a year of shame to go through single player, which I think is what Vicky was trying to get at with this question. Is that if you're able to power through on your own, unless you need someone else to do it, in terms of clearing a pile, that's usually easier. Because, as Steve alluded to, with most big co-op games, there is a lot of farming and grinding and everything else, which slows down any pile progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
It is nice to have the odd bit of multiplayer every now and again as well, because what you do find is if you're on the Year of Shame and you're constantly playing solo games and people are always talking about the new shiny and stuff on whatever forum,
Yeah.
you do sometimes feel a bit left out. So sometimes if you can find a multiplayer game that someone's willing to jump in with you, it feels as though you're included in the community again. But it's not a... Yeah.
Yeah.
You're usually trying to clear that off your list as well at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's why I quite like the Poker Night, because it still felt as though we were included in the community. No disrespect to our community, but it is a very kind of solo effort if you're playing lot of single player games in this challenge.
Yes, it does.
So, yeah, so having that community night does kind of feel as though you still got the new nice and shinies and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
Now, we have one more question. Here's the big discussion, as if we haven't had
The
some.
doozy.
So, Dave Packer again.
Oh,
Him again.
He's just doing size job from episode 1.
Yeah.
And what do you guys think of Stadia and the future of YOS, given that maybe buying actual games won't be a thing in a few years?
I think that we've got a pronunciation problem there to start with.
Stadia.
Stadia.
Yeah.
Stadia. This is like Drago all over again.
It's definitely Drago.
No, I could agree with Drago, but it's Stadia.
Stadia.
Stadium. It's a stadium. It's not a stadium.
Well, it is if you're a twat.
Yes, I'm going to the Emirates Stadium this afternoon to watch the Arsenal
To
play.
watch some football.
Yes. Some kicking the foot. Oh, what a jolly good pass. Yes.
Go to pass.
Congratulations there, sir.
If only you weren't like that on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
That's a different personality.
He's probably...
It's
he's
the only
there
way I can get by in drinking all these Ponzi beers is by speaking like that.
He's there on the stand at the Emirates Stadium with his Pims and lemonade and little fingers stuck out while he's sipping it. Bravo!
The term, sir, is
Bravo.
polite pinky.
Well
It's a
done,
polite
referee.
pinky.
Well done. Good call.
Pip and all that.
Pip. Yeah.
So, Stadia. I am well up for it. Everything in my house is Google. I was saying this on the Midlife Gamer Group the other day. I'm quite looking forward to ultimate connectivity with all the TVs in my house have a Chromecast attached. I have Google Home in pretty much every room. So I'm quite looking forward to being able to say, hey Google, dim the lights and play blah blah on whichever TV I'm at. And just having the controller or any of my other controllers with me that will connect to the Chromecast and just going for it. I'm also, as someone who sometimes doesn't have the inclination to buy games, quite looking forward to being able to say, well, I've got all of the games as long as I pay this monthly fee, and then I'll just play whichever ones tickle mon pickle. With regards to Year of Shame, I completely see the problem. I don't imagine that Stadia is going to completely do away with hardware, though. And there will be platform exclusives still. There'll be things that Sony will say to Google, you're not having this. And Microsoft will do the same. And so there will still be a lot of specific game buying going on, even if Stadia is a roaring success. So while I think it has the opportunity to impact the Year of Shame challenge in terms of, minimising its impact perhaps, I don't think it will make it disappear altogether.
Yeah, it'll be a while before we do see any impact on Year of Shame, I think, because at this moment in time we don't know anything about pricing. We don't know. We know the concept. That's about it. So we don't know how much the initial hardware is going to cost, because isn't it all going to be done via a internet-linked controller?
This is it. There will be no hardware.
But I thought it was.
There'll be a
Stadia controller.
you've got a controller.
Yeah, the controller, but you can use any controller. You don't have to have the Stadia controller.
But I thought it was the
I
Stadia
thought that
controller
was the
that
yeah.
directly connected to the internet.
I
I thought that was the thing that
I
dictated the streaming.
I read that. I mean, I think maybe you're right, and maybe it depends on whether you have other Google Home devices. But I'm pretty sure I read that it would work with any controller.
Well, that
As
must
long
be
as that
dependent
controller
on the Googleness, because otherwise you can't just connect a PS4 controller to the internet. It has to go via something.
No, but it would connect to your Chromecast.
So you need the Chromecast. That's what I'm getting at. You do need that.
Okay, so you need a device somewhere.
Here you go.
I think it's going to be a while before. All right, sorry, go on.
Sorry, I've just found it. It says I'm just waiting for it to load up now, but the search result said you can use any controller. Here we go.
All right.
What controllers can I use with Stadia? At the time of writing, the Stadia controller is not available for pre-order. We don't even know potential pricing. Oh no, that was can I buy?
Well, that's talking about a specific controller.
This story now, after the initial search bit, which said you could use any controller, this says you'll need the Stadia controller.
Right. So it is a bit of hardware.
Yeah.
But it's I'm presuming it will be streaming from the stuff from the internet, but then casting it onto your Chromecast. So you'll be able to go shift it from room to room. So that yeah.
A lot of it's dependent on the infrastructure it's going to be built around with the connection to your home. So, I mean, if you think about how much you've got online gaming needing a decent connection now, unless they do direct connection between their servers and your house, you're going to be dependent on your ISP, aren't you?
Yes.
But they are suggesting you can get a 4K 60 Hz stream for sub 30 meg speed or something. So they're actually the compression rate on it seems to be quite. They're managing to send a lot of data quite quickly and reliably. But the problem I think you have is in order for it to. Yes, we are starting to see a better broadband speed here and in Europe. One of its big markets, which is going to be the States, they are still
a long way behind.
All intents and their internet in the sticks is pretty much shit.
Yeah. Some places rely on satellite.
Exactly. So there is still going to be this. I don't think it will completely get rid of physical sales. It'll impact it, but there are always going to be people that are going to be against a streaming service and want to still think that they should own a game, even though technically you're just licensing it. And also, there's still going to be a market for the shiny collectible editions.
Yes.
So I think we're a long way off before game streaming is going to be the dominant avenue for this for entertainment. Probably 10 years.
I don't know.
We
still kind of have it now, though, don't we? We've got Game Pass and PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
But is it that big?
That's what I mean. I don't know whether or not that's a big thing. I don't subscribe to either of those services.
I think what would be interesting is, and this is almost a tangent to get back to this answer, but I was reading an article the other day where scientists and analysts have projected that the last cigarette smoked in England will be smoked in Derby in 2050. It will be interesting to know when they think the last physical copy game will be sold and where.
You're still seeing music CDs being sold.
I have not bought a CD for a very long time.
Oh, I am. I probably buy one or two a year still.
I think it's got to be about 5 years for me.
So there are people still buy Blu-rays and DVDs. So you've seen how long it's taken for things like iTunes and Netflix to take over those markets. It's been a very slow progression. Yeah. I think it will be the same with games media. It will eventually do it, but it's going to take a long time. You're looking at 10, 15 years before it becomes the dominant stream for consumption of games.
Yeah, agreed.
And I think, but is it affecting Year of Shame?
Well, that's 10 or 15 years of us waffling year away.
Yeah, I don't think it'll
I
be
don't-
us again. I think they'll have had. They certainly will have had enough of Steve by the end of this one.
Yeah. I've done 2 years. Fucking no.
2 out of 3.
I think it. Yeah, you're looking at. I think 7-8 years before we start seeing an impact on Year of Shame.
Yeah.
But will Year of Shame still be here in 7-8?
Will Midlife Gamer still be here?
Yeah. Well, we'd hope so.
Of course it will.
We'd hope so.
Of course it fucking will. But there you go, Dave. That's what we think about the thing that you've asked us.
So we've kind of dealt with this already, because Mark follows on from that and asks what would be the price point for it if you were to buy one.
I think if the controllers, they mentioned that the controller would be coming in at a similar price to a DualShock 4.
It's about
50 quid for one.
Exactly. I would happily plump for that. Subscription-wise, it's a really difficult one because I intend to keep my consoles anyway. So I'd probably say about 25 quid a month.
Really, I think that's. I would
tops.
think that's.
And the only reason I'm saying that is because, you know, if they're saying that is to have every game, because they're not just talking about having new releases on Stadia, they're talking about having old stuff too.
But you've got to think as well, as things like this open up, there's going to be competition with PS Now, EA,
Yep.
Xbox.
Oh yeah.
An Xbox and, I mean, the EA Origin or EA whatever access. How much is that? 15 quid a month at most?
No,
£7?
you can buy it for like £20 a year.
Exactly. So, do you think that Google are going to price themselves out of the market by saying, even people who look at it price-wise, well, I can get a year of EA for 20 quid, and the Xbox One on top of that, and that'll cost me far less for a year than it would for 3 months of Google Stadia.
I completely see what you're saying. I just don't see how they can expect
It's going to have
enough.
to be more competitively priced.
I agree. I just don't see how they can do it.
Well, they're going to have to transition all those services to one, because PlayStation Now isn't going to give up its subscribers just purely to
No.
the Stadia system. Likewise with EA and Microsoft, they're going to all have to agree to divide that streaming revenue up between them, aren't they?
That's if they allow them to.
Exactly.
EA might go, fuck off, you're not having any of our games, we're sticking with our service. Because it's a guaranteed revenue stream. Well,
The difference
they're guaranteed
is
to get all the revenue.
Well, the difference is that EA Access is not a streaming service. Nor is Game Pass.
No.
The only one that is a streaming service is PS Now. And even then, they've now changed to downloading games because the feedback they got was that their infrastructure wasn't sufficient for the streaming of those games.
But at the core of that is the licensing of the title, which Stadia would have to have in order to do the streaming.
But you have to remember how many of the biggest games are actually third-party developed.
Yeah.
Like your RDRs and your GTAs. Like your Call of Duties, your Battlefields.
The last Assassin's Creed that they did the test
Exactly.
over Chrome or whatever.
Yes, they don't have. They will lose out on things like what's the thing, Heavy Rain and shit like that. Xbox exclusives, PlayStation exclusives like God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn. But there is a world of games that aren't controlled by any one studio. In any one platform.
Are you not going to see if these services start to get popular?
Then there'll be Google
Are we not going to
exclusives.
see? Yeah, but things like what Disney are doing now, where they're starting their own service
And they're buying everything up.
Yeah. What if a few years down the line, Ubisoft go, this is looking quite sweet. Right, we're pulling all of our games from all the platforms. We're starting our own service. And you suddenly have a proliferation of all these different services, and you're paying umpteen odd subscriptions for everything.
I think going along that model and using the Disney model.
Yeah.
If we say Google are Disney.
Yeah.
And let's say Ubisoft, just to keep it on the same level, are Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Disney went, we've got all this money, and they might pull their rights. Let's just fucking buy them.
Yeah.
Google have got the money to buy everyone. Everyone.
I was reading something. Do you know that when it first came up on the Midlife Gamer forums about Stadia, and people were trying to go, well, this is why streaming's going to be the thing, and one of the things that came up was it's better for the environment. And I thought,
interesting, true.
Yeah.
Well, I thought, is it? So I had a look, and there was actually a study come out that Google at this moment in time consumes more electricity annually than Turkey, the country.
Wow.
And you've got that is based on their systems at the moment. You add all these servers in that are not just streaming stuff,
but are running
they're going to have to be running it and doing all this computational stuff.
Cloud storage.
That's cloud storage. The electricity costs alone. You can't say that's environmentally
offset
friendly,
that,
even if they are using greenhouse ways of getting it. There's also all the coolants they need to run through the system. The amount of chemicals that they actually use to cool down a storage facility like that, you don't think about it.
No.
They're using thousands of gallons of refrigerant.
What people will be thinking about is the hot potato at the moment, which is plastics. So no game cases, no discs. That takes out a huge chunk of the footprint of the games industry.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. It depends on where you stand and what you're looking into. But I think that people answer based on what's in the public conscious at the moment, which is about our impact of fossil fuels and also of plastics.
Chucking
that stuff in the sea.
Exactly.
So digital distribution, I think, fine. That is good. That's obviously trending upwards anyway.
Yeah, that's always been a thing, hasn't it?
That's more like you're downloading a file. They're just hosting the file. I don't think people understand that streaming services are more of an impact on the environment than digital distribution. So, anyway, that was at a tangent. That was just me reading some random study.
It's part and parcel of the issue, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't think people don't understand it's not as environmentally friendly as they think. It probably is better than plastics, all the plastics and everything, but there are a whole shitloads more things going on in the background.
It's not as black and white as this is good and that's bad.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Anyway, I don't have anything more to say on Stadia. That's it.
See, this is why we left it till last, because I knew we were going to end up here.
Yeah.
But it's the big thing at the moment now, won't it be? Now, that's it, though, question-wise, unless you want to continue the discussion we're having now.
Well,
there is only one thing.
Here we go. Go on.
It's the announcement at the weekend. There's a new Persona 5 coming out. It's like Persona 5, the Royal. They announced it at the weekend.
Is that DLC, is it?
No idea. It was a teaser.
Right.
It could be anything. It could be a fighting game. It could be a real-time strategy. Who knows? There's another announcement on the 24th, 28th of April.
Could be a Senran Kagura add-on.
Mind you can actually get free bikini DLC for the...
Of course you can.
Yeah, why not? It's a Japanese game.
Look at the type of game it is.
Yeah.
I'm always surprised that Yakuza isn't more fucked up. I mean, as I mentioned the other day...
You met Mr. What's-His-Face.
Yeah. Mr. Libido.
Yeah.
And he's an interesting cat, but there's no out-and-out mental crazy Japaneseness to it. In that vein, there's certainly enough mental Japaneseness to it in other ways, but it's not. Hey, let's look at everyone in bikinis.
It's not as bad as that, but there are some certain moments in Persona 5 which it's like I wouldn't want the wife seeing. Seriously, you do these confidants, right?
You do them.
Build a relation. Well, you do. If you can get all the ladies up to rank 10, you form relationships with them.
It's a lady.
And one of them's your teacher.
Of course she is.
So,
well.
But at the same time, she also does a sideline as a Japanese maid.
Oh, yeah.
So she does the maid service. So you go off and do the same. And she'll come and give you massages in the evening, if you ask her. But you treat her like shit. If you get these dirty clothes and stuff, instead of going to the laundry to do it yourself, you just phone her up and go, right, you do it for me. She gets to come round and do your washing for you.
In her pants.
It's like, well, in a maid's outfit.
Of course.
Yeah. And then there are these two personas that I've just got. They basically look like penises.
Okay.
They've got. They look like a penis. It's just like, I don't want my wife seeing that.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a good game.
I mean, that's the one thing I enjoy about RDR2 is that he won't have sex with a prostitute, so there's no danger of the wife coming in on that.
Can you not? Is it not like...
No.
Not a GTA.
What was the one?
He's got a moral code.
GTA.
Yeah, that involves shooting people in the face.
But not fucking hoes.
Right.
He don't fuck no hoes. They'll give him a bath, but they won't fuck him.
And
Or is it one of those ones that fades to black and you just hear...
No, he
it's-
categorically won't do it because he's in love.
Oh, right.
with himself.
Okay.
Not with himself, with Dutch. Brokeback Mountain, I can't quit you.
Yeah, that was it. That's
Brokeback
all I had
Redemption,
to
the
add.
sequel to Brokeback Mountain.
It's a different sort of redemption.
Yep.
In the butt.
Oh, and the only other thing,
Oh, hello.
if you've not seen it already...
It's like the Spanish
Marvel,
Inquisition,
bloody
this.
Yeah. No, Captain Marvel, really
Yeah, I
good.
saw it the night it came
Enjoyed it.
out.
Did you?
Yeah,
I only went at the weekend with my daughter.
I was there.
She bloody loved it.
Date night with the wife. Went to the beer shop to use my staff discount to get her drunk. Woo!
Sexy
And then,
Tetris.
Sexy Tetris in the cinema. Watching Captain Marvel. Also, yeah, Brie Larson is wonderful to look at, so that helps everything. Outro, Toby, it says here on the running order.
Yeah,
Because
that'll
I'm
do.
guessing we've got no emails or Twitter, or has no one checked?
Yeah, no, we haven't. We haven't got anything.
Okay, cool.
Nothing on Twitter. We don't get anything. Everyone seems to be fucking us off.
Nobody likes us, because we
Nobody
tell
likes
you
us.
you're wrong.
I think the only interaction I've had this month on Twitter is Colin liking my Exaphase stuff.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all. That's it. So, won't bother with Twitter and email. Fuck it.
Fuck it
Fuck 'em.
right off. Okay,
Fuck 'em.
then I will say, any other business, gentlemen?
When's our next poker night?
Next poker night.
Watch
we
this
will-
space. We don't know,
Yeah, I
do
was
we?
going to say we discussed that off air last time, and then we did the
Thing
Facebook.
with a thing on a Facebook page.
Should we do it do it not this week? Week after, a couple of weeks. Well, we'll do it offline.
Yeah,
we'll do it offline.
just essentially what we need to say to people right now is keep your eye on the Facebook group. The poker night will be announced this week.
That's a multiplayer game,
It is, and we're all going to play it together.
and see how drunk Matt Moore can get.
Yeah, well, that's always the game, isn't it? That's always the game.
Oh, that was entertaining. Matt Moore.
Our
Piss
table
as
was a bit more sedate because it was me, Steve, and Digi, and a new lad.
Yeah.
Ours was
I
all
took-
over the
I
place.
took all your money.
Well, actually,
Virtually.
you didn't clean me out. I cleaned you out.
I didn't clean you.
I cleaned.
But then I got it all back.
No, you started again.
I was 20 grand up. I was 20 grand up on the night.
Yes, you were, but I cleaned you and Digi both out in one hand.
Yes, I was still 20 grand up on the night.
I was not busted at any time.
You still had less than me at the end of the evening.
Yeah,
Nah.
but I didn't lose.
Neither of you was playing me. That's why you won.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would
Whatever.
have cleaned you out as well. It was a
Whatever.
great hand because Digi went all in, then Steve went all in, so then I went all in, and I had a flush, and they did not.
You had a flush. So we keep things clean and have a flush.
Yeah, I flushed them right down the toilet, both of them.
It's all good. I came back in the end. My conservative play.
Yeah, I will not bet anything.
Not betting anything.
You will bet,
If
and
I
I'll
do-
take the money.
Yep. Yep. It's fine. That's the way I
Good.
play. Who cares?
That's my poker game. Yeah, okay, so poker night, TBA.
TBA.
This week.
And I realised I'm not streaming it next time
Why?
because, well, if I'm streaming it,
Yeah.
you could be fucking cheating. You could be watching the stream and I'm looking at my cards and going, "Oh, he's got that." Oh,
I didn't
so
even
I'm not
think
doing
of
that.
that.
Damn it!
Now you've announced it to the world.
Yeah,
You idiot.
shit. I should have said you're streaming next month. No other business from me. Getting shot down in flames. Fucking hell. I can't tell if he's frozen or just having a fit.
I think he's had
No,
some
he's
sort.
been-
He's having an episode, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I
Yeah,
don't like
that's it.
platinum trophies that include multiplayer. That's my only other business.
Okay, good.
I have so many trophies that, because there's an online element that involves playing versus dickheads, I just can't be bothered.
Oh, you mean it's a platinum that actually takes some skill?
No,
Yes.
doesn't take. It doesn't
sounds
take
like
any
you think I
skill.
played
It doesn't take any skill when it involves people buying loot crates and bonuses. And
No,
things.
that doesn't. But when it's one where you have to go online and beat a certain amount of people in a PvP,
Yeah.
then it requires
Yeah.
some skill.
Stay away from that. Stay away from it. Not for me. Right.
Okay. So we'll do
It's
domestics.
frozen.
Yeah, Rich isn't moving. And there's a woman talking somewhere in the background on someone's.
I can still hear him though. There he is.
There he is.
He's
He's
back.
moving. Okay, so domestics. As always, you can find us all on Twitter at Year of Shame, all as one word. Please use the hashtag Yoshi and the hashtag YOS2019. You can also find Steve on Twitter at
Steve0876. I think there's a sub hyphen or something in there. I can't remember.
There isn't.
No, I'm Steve0876.
Yeah. You can find Rich on Twitter at.
Burton Coggles.
You can find me on Twitter at TobyJames_. You can also email us at yearofshame@gmail.com. Please mention YOS2019, or as most of you link up with us there, you can find us at the Year of Shame Challenge on Facebook. That's as domestic as we get.
Yeah. There was something else I was going to suggest there.
What were you going to suggest?
Oh yeah. No, I was only going to say one more
What's
thing.
that?
Yeah, good luck to Richard in his job interview this
Yeah,
afternoon.
Rich's got a job interview today, everyone, and you won't hear this until after the interview, so you can ask him how it went. But yeah, Rich is going to smash it because it's the job he wants. So
That's probably going to be like the commentator's curse.
it's not.
You're going to do shit.
When
It's
we
going to
were
be so
talking
bad.
about mine, when we were talking about mine, and you guys said I was going to smash it, I got the job. So and now I'm three weeks unemployed until I start that job. Which is great because it means I get to work at the beer shop and drink free beer. So look, all of those good things will happen to you.
Yeah, well, we can hope, and I'm pretty sure it will actually go that way. I mean, what's not to be terrified about when the CEO of the company's interviewing you?
Absolutely nothing, mate, because CEOs are pussycats. That's why they're
Blind in with science.
That's why there are all of those other positions below a CEO, because CEOs got to the point where they don't have to be mean to people anymore. So you're going to be absolutely, positively fine.
It'll be okay. It'll be right.
It
Yes,
will be
you'll
more
be
than
good.
that, mate. It will be a cake walk.
So
Are we done
That's
now?
us. We're done.
That's us.
So say goodbye, Steve.
Bye.
Bye, Steve.
Goodbye, Rich.
Bye, Rich.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, Toby.
Bye.
Speak till next month. Bye.
Bye. I was just saying to Rich, I had the most cathartic afternoon ever yesterday. My decking at the bottom of my garden, the previous owners hadn't treated it or anything, and so it was completely rotted. And I couldn't unscrew it all because the screws were rotted into the wood and rusted away and stuff. So I just took an axe to it yesterday afternoon.
Sorry, can you still hear me? Because I've
Yeah,
right. That's okay.
fine.
It just said my mic was muted. That must have been fun.
it was a lot of fun, but my body is paying for it today.
I have a mini version because we've got a chimenea, so whenever we get any wood or anything from boxes or fences or whatever, I just smash the shit out of that and then burn it.
Well, yeah,
Do you not get your musket out and start shooting at it?
I saved that for the neighbours
I don't know.
and the
Get
squirrels.
all the
well, yeah. The neighbours must have thought I was absolutely mental, because I just wandered out into the garden with my gloves on and an axe, and then turned Slipknot on full volume and just went to fuck at the decking.
and all they could hear is bloody woman. And they think,
How am I going to bury her under this?
yeah. You should have got some paper mache hands and stuff and just thrown them in so there's one sticking out.
Redo the garden flower beds with those fake arms sticking out.